Hey, fellow YouTubers, JJ the Trucker coming to you from the Salt Lake City Ramada. Oh man, as you've probably already seen from the previous videos, I am back at Salt Lake City. I have completed the TNT training. The upgrade is complete. I'm getting my own truck tomorrow. And I'm recapping the good, the bad, and the ugly. And this is the good, the bad, and the ugly of TNT training specifically. So if you haven't seen the good or the bad videos, check them out. I should have some links or something going on up here to show you, to directly you over to the good or the bad videos. This is the ugly though. This is the one where I'm gonna really get down to it. It's first of all in orientation they tell you you're gonna hit a wall, push through it. Well, this is the kind of stuff that can cause you to hit that wall. But no matter what, as long as you're prepared for it, hopefully, this video will help prepare you for it mentally. Hopefully, you'll be able to get through it and bust through that wall like I was able to. It's definitely worth it to bust through the wall and keep going because it will happen. It will happen that you'll bust through. You'll get through it. You'll be done with it. You'll be, looking at your new truck that you're getting. And you're going to be all excited, going, "Yeah, finally passed." You're going to get handshakes from everybody in the orientation or in the training rooms, and yeah, it's a good feeling once you get through it. Not to mention you get back to the Ramada and actually get some sleep. So, all right, so let's boil it down here. Here are the ugly parts of the TNT training. I'll switch over to the red wall here. Yes, the Ramada. It's the beautiful Ramada with the lovely red wall here. All right, so number one, we were on 20-hour days instead of 24-hour days. Reason for that is because 10 hours until your clock resets. So after you're after you're off for 10 hours, your drive clock and your 14-hour clock reset. So because of that, the trainers that I had opted to do it to where as soon as your clock is reset, boom, you're back on duty and back to driving, and whoever was driving, now they get their 10-hour break. It sounds great in theory, and it did work. Truck was always moving that way, so we did get a lot of miles in and everything. But man, the body is just not equipped to deal with that. You're used to a 24-hour day, getting 8 hours of sleep and then up for 16 hours. Getting up around the same time every day or something like that. But we're doing a 20-hour day, and your body just doesn't get used to it very easily. You've only been up for 10, 11 hours, 12 hours before you got to force yourself to go to sleep. And then the sleep, we'll talk about that in a little bit. But, then you got to sleep and then you're back up again at it, Sometimes it's during the day, sometimes it's during the night, sometimes you're sleeping during the day. And then what do you do when when you're stuck at a shipper or a receiver, or you're in between loads or something like that? It really, really messes with the body's clock, and man, it's a challenge to deal with it. It really is. So just be aware of it. Now that is going to be trainer specific. One of the trainers, my first trainer that I had, he had a plan to where he was going to do 12-hour shifts. But he was one of those that drove for 11 hours every day. So he figured, okay, max out the drive clock, the 11-hour drive clock, plus your 30-minute break, plus, a 15-minute break in there, plus, 15-minute switch off and everything. That would be 12 hours. That I think would actually work a little bit better. But my other trainers, my TNT trainers, they weren't about that because they were clock managers. They would only run, about 9 hours on their drive clock each day. That way they aren't running out of hours in the 70-hour clock. So that was tough. It really was. You really lose track of your days because of it. It's so easy to not know what day it is. Constantly checking your watch or your phone to see what day it is. And when you're losing track of days, you kind of lose track of when your last shower was, when your last grocery stop was, trying to take, any kind of medications. It's a challenge. Did I take medicine today? Did I not? I just, it was a challenge. Speaking of grocery stops and everything, the diet and exercise portion sucks. It really does. I mean, you're only up for 10 hours, and you gotta, you're eating your meals and you're off, and when to eat the meals. There's no real opportunity to cook or meal prep because the truck's always moving and bouncing around. You can't really, meal prep or anything when the truck's constantly, all over the place, and you're turning this way and you're turning that way and stopping and starting and everything. It's not gonna happen. Even using the microwave was a challenge, when I did use it. So not only that, refrigerator space is limited. They're small refrigerators, and especially depending on what year the truck is. The older trucks have really small refrigerators, whereas the newer trucks just have small refrigerators. So trying to fit two people's healthy food in there, plus waters and beverages and stuff, just not that great. Plus, you're not even really stopping at Walmarts and places where you can get a lot of healthy food options. It's mostly truck stops. So you really got to deal with that. Plus, the truck's always moving, so trying to get out for a walk or for a run or do any kind of regular exercise, you can't do jumping jacks or anything really inside the truck. There's just no room, especially, again, when the truck is moving. So trying to get any kind of exercise, especially regular exercise, forget it. Not while you're doing TNT. If anybody has a way, post a link in the comments to your video on how you did it, and please share it with those who are going to be going through TNT training that are watching this. Let's see. I gained 20 pounds, by the way, in these 5 months. 20 pounds because no diet and exercise plan. You're eating fast food, or whatever you can get. It's just not great. Let's see here. Next on my list, sleep. Sleep okay. This is going to be this is the last thing I'll be touching up on here on the ugly. Sleep was the worst. I've mentioned it in my other videos, but when you're trying to sleep, first of all, you get 10 hours of off time. You really have to try and get 8 hours of time into sleep, because in those 8 hours, you might get 5 hours of sleep, of actual sleep time. It's very interrupted sleep. As soon as you get to sleep, boom, you've hit a pothole, or you get one, the roads that are doing one of these numbers, and you're just bouncing and bouncing and bouncing and bouncing and bouncing, and finally bottoming out on the hard, bottom of the bunk. It's jolting. Not to mention those times where your partner is at the shipper or the receiver, and you're backing into a dock, and you're backing, and then boom, they backed into the dock, or even worse, backing into a trailer that they've dropped and hooked. That is jolting and jarring. Plus, in the yards, the turns and corners are going to be a lot sharper. So you're trying to sleep, and all of a sudden the truck's whoa, and it's. Plus, they're getting in and out if they've got to adjust the tandems and do the doors and the load locks, and all the bells and whistles of the truck are going off. It's just trying to get sleep is terrible. Dallas by far was the worst city to try and get any sleep in, driving through. Dallas was bad. Kansas City is bad. Pretty much anywhere in Colorado, California, bad. The major cities, bad. Especially like Texas, and especially Dallas, they just don't give a crap about their roads. Their roads are terrible. So many, it was almost like, I had to get up a few times just to see if my trainer was aiming for the potholes. They weren't. It's just there's so many of them. There were some cities that even when I was driving, I felt really bad for my trainer. I'm sitting there, hitting them one after the other. Not to mention construction zones. It's just trying to get sleep was the worst. There were days when I didn't hardly get any sleep. There were days when the roads were so bad that I was waking up sore, like really sore, like pulled muscles, sore, or practically bruised sore because of all the bumping around. Um, we finally did get a mattress topper at Walmart. It helped. It was really squishy and really soft and everything, so it didn't help trying to sit, and it kind of like enveloped around, so it wasn't greatly comfortable, but it did help with all the bumps and all that stuff. It helped a little bit, so I'd recommend that. I can tell you though, once I get my truck, the first thing I'm getting is a mattress, one of the nice mattresses. I'm probably going to get me a drift mattress. Um, there are mattress options out there. I tried to talk both of my TNT trainers into investing into a mattress like that because they're not that expensive. They're like $700 for a really really nice mattress that would really help. And $700 is less than a week's pay, but no, neither one of them would go for that. But I'm definitely going to do it, even though I won't have to drive or sleep in a moving truck anymore, ever again. Hopefully for the rest of my life, I'm still going to get that upgraded mattress because you spend at least a third of your life in a mattress. Make it a good mattress. Treat yourself to a good mattress. Your back will thank you. Your body will thank you. Your mind will thank you. And I highly encourage it, especially if you're gonna be a trainer out there. Do yourself and your trainees a favor and get a good mattress. They're not that expensive, I tell you. Just spend the money; it's worth it. Anyways, so here's the overall recap. Overall, I'm glad it's done and over with. I really am. I couldn't be happier once we pulled into the yard. Oh, it's just a huge sigh of relief to be able to get my stuff unpacked off that truck and bring it all into the Ramada, knowing that I was going to be going through the upgrade process. In orientation, they, as mentioned, they said you're going to hit a wall. I definitely hit the wall a few times. You got to power through it. Bust through it. It will be worth it in the end. You're going to make some great money, and everything's going to be fine. And I'm getting my own truck. I'll be able to sleep again. And that right there is worth it. I'm going to, as I mentioned, spend the money on the good mattress. I'm going to make some money, and it's definitely worth it. So even though I mentioned a whole bunch of ugly stuff, don't let that discourage you from going through the training program. It will be worth it in the end. Just the main reason I'm putting all this stuff out there is so that you're aware of it, so that you understand what to expect, and you can mentally prep yourself for it, and get through it. That's the main key. All right. Well, thank you very much, everybody, for listening to the good, the bad, and the ugly. My next video will be tomorrow when I get my truck. I will give you a tour of the truck and let you see everything about it. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.